Alright guys, so I just finished streaming not too long ago, so I have been composing what I want to do for the Total War as kind of like a video. So what I'm decided to do, I'm just going to be doing the 6 most difficult stage. We have Concede, we have the 2 mobile armor, we have 1 GPU 4, and 2 full armor Gundam Thunderbolt. So all of these are just going to be a full breakdown of what I use, their modules, their unit enhancement if I have any, and we are just gonna go from there. The remaining one I'm not really going to be doing because they are not as difficult, and I can just kind of give you guys a recommendation of what I'm gonna be using after talking about this fight. As far as the Concede, it can be doable with a 2 unit, and first and foremost, the O is actually a must-have. The reason being, the O is able to evade, being able to proctor a lot of EXQ when dodging, healing, all that good stuff you guys do already know. But Kasatria is actually a pretty underrated unit to use because Kasatria not only can buff, you have the self healing and evade, and the healing, right? So that's why Kasatria is actually a perfect candidate for this one. And this match, you guys do want to target the new Gundam FF. That is going to be on the 3rd role because the new Gundam FF is a healer. Once you guys are able to neutralize the new Gundam FF, you guys should be in the clear. So going back to what to really use for the remaining stages, we have 4 RA72, and then we have a total of 13 fights remaining with the rarities, and we have the SRs. So for the SRs and Rs, I would recommend you guys to be using, first of all, for the SR fights, you can use up to 3, a combination of SRs or Rs up to a custom level 6. No pilots, and you guys should be good to go. So that's going to be my recommendation. For the rest of the rarity fights, I would recommend same thing, custom level 6 with 2 units fighting, and you guys should be good to go. I did that during my stream, so I feel like that should be sufficient enough. Going now, talking about the 4 RA72. So for that, I recommend at least using 1 remaining whatever good URs you guys do have, and then probably for that, maybe custom level 10 for that UR or higher if you guys do have that already invested. As far as the rest, I will recommend using whatever remaining at least 3 to 4 SRs or Rs, and then have them at least be custom level 9, and then I think at that point in time you guys should be good to go for the 4 RA72. Now back to the E3 slot, we have one of the mobile armor. This one is the 2.7 million HP one. Not HP, combat power. So for this one, we are opted to use a unit that can self-heal, which, you know, full armor Gundam, or no, sorry, full armor Unicorn is capable of doing. And then we have Phoenix. So if you don't have Phoenix, for example, there are definitely alternative options to use for debuffing purposes or buffing. So I think there are within the SR department, I believe one of the boss is actually pretty good, and then there's the Zack pod. Both of them is a 1 debuffer and 1 buffer, so that is definitely a good option. And then for the rest of the fight, for this one specifically, is just gonna breeze by because a full armor Unicorn just self-sustain, let's call it that, and then Phoenix debuffing definitely made this the dream team for sure. And moving to the other tank, this is not a tank, mobile armor, my bad. I'm kind of stumbled all over the place, but in terms of this one is actually annoying because this mobile armor can actually heal. So in this case, we are going to be busting out Zeta for this instance because Zeta is going to be a fairly capable unit of doing just massive damage, and the fact that we need to do enough damage that we can consider the fact that the enemy heals. So Zeta is definitely the best candidate for this one. The other one, we do have a healer, we have New Gundam, and then we have Alex for the debuffing. Like I said again, if we don't have Alex or if we don't have any of the other debuffer or buffer, you guys can definitely use some of the other alternatives like within the SR's territory. I think they are definitely pretty good as well. So we have that. So for the remaining of the fight, you guys can see that I actually made a mistake for this one. I don't think we would actually need what is it, full armor Gundam Thunderbolt, because I think with the healing wise, I think we can probably opt for not full armor Gundam Thunderbolt, but maybe a SR tank or something of a lesser tank that can do the job right, because we do have a healer, so technically speaking we can heal the tank back up if it's being aggroed too much, for example. So that was definitely my mistake, just poor planning. So we could have definitely saved that for maybe a different stage, for example. So you guys can see the rest of the teammate aren't necessarily doing the damage, but they are definitely in full support for Zeta. So that's why this fight did wrap up pretty fast. Moving on, we have GPO4. So GPO4, even though it has a 2.2 million combat power, don't let that combat power kind of scare you away, because this one is not that tough, I would say. And again, this one is actually another plan or poor planning on my end. I could probably save a Hakashiki for a different stage, and you guys will definitely see why. For this one, we are going to be using a SR tank, because this one is not as tough, and I have tested it out. This one actually worked out pretty good. And we are just going to be bringing in our good old pal GPO2A. This is a custom level 10, and we do not have any investment. This one is simply just going to be a me shield, but that works out pretty well, even though we don't have any potential elite enhancement invest into that or transcendent skill. Just being able to pop that one EX skill definitely made the difference. So it does not really matter what kind of investment you're looking at for your GPO2. Mine worked out just fine, so if you just have one copy of that, no investment into it, you guys should be good as well. So you guys can see that in this fight, Hakashiki was actually a waste, got wasted really fast. So I could have probably used this one in a easier fight, maybe against the full armor Gundam Thunderbolt fight, or maybe even the RA-72. That was definitely my bad. But you guys can see Gundam was definitely a trooper in this one. Wow, we did really well with Gundam, so definitely pretty good on that end. But after we took out, I think it was like with GPO4 itself, I think we should be, or no, GPO4 was actually the last one remaining. Usually when you do take down like the actual ace unit, you should be in the clays ready, but this time around it happened to be nearly the last unit we take out. So yeah, this one was easier than I thought, I will have to say. And moving on to the last two phases, we have the full armor Gundam Thunderbolt. So don't let the tank kind of scare you away. What we are going to be using, we are going to be using our favorite. We have Sasabi. So for Sasabi, it's definitely a well-known unit that can actually just solo anything. So with given the fact that we do have the evasion, obviously, I was attempting to use Sasabi for Cassette fight, but Sasabi was just not evading as much as I like it to be. So that's why I'm like, all right, I guess we can save it for another fight. And here we are. For Armageddon fight was actually a pretty good testing ground for Sasabi to see how sustainable this unit is. I think for a good duration, like Sasabi was just straight up dodging. Like we didn't even take any damage at all after that. So that was actually pretty clutch. So definitely a right unit to use for this situation. Alright, moving on, we are hopping into the team section already. So this one was coming down to the latter stretch of what kind of URs I have remaining. So I decided to go for Gato's Repdom. We have GPO4 and then we have a Zaku 2 for the cameo here. So I'm just gonna let you guys guess right now which is gonna be the MPV in this match. If you guys guess GPO4 right now, you guys are wrong. I'm gonna have you guys kind of sit and wait which one is the one of the trooper for this one. You guys might definitely expect, well, GPO4 should be the best candidate because obviously it's gonna be the one that's dealing a lot of damage. Yes, I would definitely agree, but it's not always about doing the most amount of damage. There are definitely instances where sustainability is also an important factor, but I definitely have to say we managed to clutch things up because of the fact that we broke the actual ace, which is the full armor Gundam Thunderbolt, and you guys can see right now Repdom is just ripping it away. I was like, can he actually do it? Can this unit actually do it? And we can. This unit is actually pretty clutch in this instance because we do have the self-recovering whenever we pop EX skill, and the enemy weren't really hitting us hard, so I was like, wow, we definitely lucked out otherwise. But other than that, there you guys have it. So these are the 6 most difficult stages to take down, and hopefully you guys do have enough unit to use to beat them. I know they are a little bit difficult, but hopefully you guys can at least beat some of them so you guys can get some diamonds, and then, you know, that's gonna be all good. But other than that, that is going to be pretty much it for me, and I'll be catching you guys up on the next one.